Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
A breaking news alert. Police in Devil's Lake say fake prescription medications being sold on the street are actually laced with fentanyl, and the pills are killing people who take them. Police say the fake pills are made to look like Percocet or OxyContin 30-milligram pills. The pills even have an M and 30 mg engraved on them. Authorities say other towns across the Midwest are reporting the same problems. Police did not say exactly how many people died from the drugs. They're also sending a reminder about Good Samaritan laws. You will not get in trouble if someone you know is overdosing and you call for help. New at noon, a crowd of demonstrators gathered for the third straight night in St. Cloud, but this time the protest against racism and police brutality was more peaceful. However, police stopped twice to settle conflicts among members of the crowd. On Monday night into early Tuesday, police used tear gas to disperse a crowd and made dozens of arrests. A similar crowd had gathered early Monday after a rumor spread on social media that police had shot 2 black men. In fact, a police officer was shot in the hand while struggling to make an arrest. No officers returned fire while struggling with the man, officials said. Taking that live look outside right now, you see the wind. It is just whipping out there on the Dakota Magic Hankinson Skycam Casino. So for what we can expect for the rest of this First Alert Weather Day, let's head on over to meteorologist Lisa Green.
The Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team has issued a weather alert day.
The heat and wind are back, and we are adding another round of summer weather in the form of severe storms. And so here's a look at our risk for today. Timing starting this afternoon, but especially as we head into tonight, these storms will be popping, and we're looking at the potential for some severe weather anywhere in the Red River Valley, but especially in that yellow shaded area, including Fargo and Grand Forks, under a slight risk for severe weather. We're looking at large hail up to 2 inches in diameter, high winds up to 75 miles per hour, and tornadoes not as likely, but still possible and something we'll have to watch out for. In addition to that, this last overnight and places that continually get rain, have some concerns about localized flooding as well. So here's a look at the latest. Most of us seeing a lot of sunshine and heat. You can see some rain and clouds out to the west along the boundary where we'll see those storms fire. And we're warming up. We're into the upper 80s in Fargo and Grand Forks, and that wind still going out of the south. So we're going to talk more about that and the timing of these storms coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, a lot to watch out for. Thank you, Lisa. The Fargo Police Department released their findings related to an investigation into the conduct of former Fargo Police Deputy Chief Todd Osmundson. The investigation found no member of the Fargo Police Department was aware Osmundson was acting undercover during the protest. The Fargo Police Department did not authorize Osmundson to act the way he did, and Osmundson's actions created significant risk to the public, himself, and other officers. Osmundson was then placed on an unpaid suspension and resigned that same day. If you're interested in reading the full police report, just visit the VNL News app. Right now, city officials are speaking with Valley News Live about this situation, and we'll have more on that throughout the day. We have new information on COVID-19 in the area. The state of Minnesota is reporting 12 new deaths from the virus, bringing the death toll to 1,325. Of those deaths, 1,051 happened in a long-term care facility. The state is reporting 419 new cases, bringing the active case count to 2,567. 27,404 people are listed as recovered. 42 new cases of the illness have been confirmed in North Dakota. 17 of those are in Cass County. No new deaths have been linked to the disease, meaning the death toll still sits at 74. 25 patients are currently in the hospital, while 2,756 are listed as recovered. A spinout on I-29 heading south shut down some lanes of traffic in the metro this morning. It happened between the 32nd and 52nd Avenue exits. Authorities say one vehicle rear-ended another. A 56-year-old woman had to be taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. All lanes were reopened after half an hour. We now have the latest details on why several authorities surrounded a house along Main Avenue near MSUM in Moorhead with guns drawn. Police say they got a call for a disturbance with multiple people around 3 this morning. Police say they weren't sure if there was a weapon involved during the first call. No more information is being released at this time. One person was hurt after a car-motorcycle crash on 12th Avenue North near NDSU in Fargo earlier today. Police say a woman driving the motorcycle was having mechanical issues, causing her lights to go out. She was pulling over to the side of the road when she was rear-ended by a car. The biker was taken to the hospital, but there's no word on the extent of her injuries. The driver of the car was not hurt. The Aunt Jemima brand of syrup and pancake mix is getting a new name and image. The specifics have not been revealed, but Quaker Oats made the announcement they were changing it today. The company says they understand Aunt Jemima's origins are, quote, based on a racial stereotype. The brand that has been around for 130 years features a black woman named Aunt Jemima. Quaker says the new branding is an effort by the company to take steps toward racial equality. After weeks of protest against police brutality, Republican Senator Tim Scott is set to unveil a plan today to reform America's police departments. A plan from Democrats is already making its way through the House. Yesterday, President Donald Trump issued an executive order on the issue, but critics say it's not nearly enough. Paula Reed is at the White House with more.
Without police, there is chaos. Without law, there is anarchy. And without safety, there is catastrophe.
Surrounded by law enforcement officials, President Trump signed an executive order that encourages police to implement best practices, like improving training, tracking excessive force complaints, and banning chokeholds, except where an officer's life is at risk. But it's not legally binding.
Americans want law and order. They demand law and order. They may not say it. They may not be talking about it, but that's what they want. No justice, no peace.
For more than 20 days, Americans have taken to the streets demanding police reform. But the executive order does not make any direct mention of racial bias or how to fix it.
Thank you.
Attorney Lee Merritt, who represents families of victims and met with the president at the White House just before the ceremony, said the order wasn't enough.
I have to say it fell kind of flat. There was nothing in the executive order that my office or these families could jump at.
The president blamed the previous administration for inaction.
President Obama and Vice President Biden never even tried to fix this during their 8-year period.
But the Obama administration did implement reforms, including banning the sale of some military equipment to police and opening over 24 federal investigations into law enforcement offices across the country. The Trump administration rolled much of that back. At a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, Democrats blasted the order.
There is nothing about what the president announced today that would hold police officers who break the rules and break the law accountable.
Later today, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Republican Senator Tim Scott will hold a press conference to address their own police reform bill. In our Consumer Alert this afternoon, some workers at Target are getting a raise. Target announced this morning it's raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour and will give all hourly employees a one-time bonus of $200. Target had temporarily raised its wages by $2 per hour in March as coronavirus cases rose. The bonuses will be paid out at the end of July, according to the company. Coming up here at noon, reconsidering reopening. States are looking at the best course of action as COVID-19 cases rise and more businesses still open. But next, Lisa Green's in with everything we need to know for this first alert weather day that's been issued.